Hi everyone, it's Abby here with another YouTube Pilates session. So as always, we're going to start in standing for a bit of a warm-up. Alright, so if you find your nice postural position, so we want our feet about hip-width distance apart, we want our knees soft, and we want our pelvis in neutral. So remember, we have that little rock backwards and forwards to find the midway of your pelvic tilt. Okay, we're going to think about shoulders now. So we want our chest nice and open, we want our shoulders anchored slightly down and back. We're thinking about our head floating away like a helium balloon, so we're standing nice and tall and relaxed. We're going to get those core muscles working now as well, so we lift the pelvic floor about 30 or 40%, pull in on those lower abdominals about 30 or 40% as well. Okay, and now we're going to think about weight distribution through the floor. So you can have a little rock around on the spot, and I want you to come to settle where you've got roughly equal pressure, balls of your feet in your heels, roughly equal pressure left and right, and then we're going to recheck that we've not let go of those core muscles. Okay, we're going to start with arm openings now. So keeping that distance between your ears and your shoulders nice and wide, we're going to float the arms up as if we're holding a big beach ball in front of us. We're going to take a breath in, and then we exhale to come into arm openings. So our eyes follow that leading hand, and then we inhale to come back, and then the other way. Exhaling to come back, inhaling to come back in. Now your pelvis should be pointing forwards all the time as we do this movement, so the twist is happening in the upper body. So feel that stretch across the front of the chest. We're feeling a little bit of work happening between the shoulder blades as we come back. Keep the distance between ears and shoulders nice and wide. We'll do this one as the last one. Lovely. Okay, now we're going to do the corkscrew now, so still keeping the core muscles working. We're going to take a breath in to bring the arms up, keeping the shoulders nice and low. And then we're going to exhale to the back of the head. We inhale to shrug, and then exhale to drop those shoulders low. Inhale to reach, and then exhale back down. Check you've still got those core muscles working. In and out. In and out. In and out. So as we bring the arms up, we make sure we're not flaring the rib cage as well. So we're using those tummy muscles to pull the bottom of your ribs down towards the top of your hips. So keeping those muscular springs working. And this trains us that we can lift the arms in the air without shrugging. Alright, we'll do one more. So we're maintaining a really nice posture all the way through the movement. Okay, so that was the last one. Alright, now we're going to do the exercise which is the windmill exercise. Now, this is one that we haven't done in many of our classes yet, so it's a little bit different. I want you to make sure that you're nice and loose through the hips, so we're not going to be rigidly trying to keep our pelvis pointing forwards with this one. So you're going to start with both arms in the air, but still keeping the shoulders anchored down. Now I want you to turn slightly to the side, and you're going to let one arm fall forward and the other one fall back. As they come back to your sides, you're back facing forwards, and you're going to turn to come back up to the top and face forwards. So we keep going in that direction. One goes forward, the other one goes back, and then back to the beginning. Keep those core muscles working while you do this, and you can go do this however fast you feel you can keep it under control. So nice and slow to start with, but when you get the idea, you can start using the momentum of the arms to speed it up a little bit. It gives you some nice mobility through the shoulders, gives you a nice twist through the body. And do one more in this direction. And then when we come back to the top, we're going to think about the other way. So now we come forward with one hand, back with the other. We're going the opposite way round. So remember, you can slow it down if you need to. Just getting a little bit of a warm up through the upper half, allowing the body to move. Last one. Arms back to the top, and then we'll come back down. Lovely. Okay, so we're a bit warmed up through the upper half. Let's do some shoulder rolls as well. So just loosening out, doing big backwards, exaggerated circles with your shoulders. So inhaling up and exhaling down for preference. Feeling that connection to the shoulder blades, or the muscles between your shoulder blades. Lovely, we'll do one more. Okay, and we'll relax those shoulders. And now we're going to think about the lower half. So pop your hands on your hips, but if at any point you need to have your hands out to the side, that's absolutely fine to help with balance. Now make sure your feet are pointing forwards, your knees are soft, your pelvis is in neutral. We're going to do the foot series. So get those core muscles working again, take a breath in, and then exhale to come up with the heels, and then down with the knees. Oh, I've lost it. Drop the heels to the floor, and come back up. So get your balance like me. So heels, knees, heels, knees. Now we want those legs to stay fairly parallel. We don't want them to come together when you come down into that squat. If they go a little bit further apart, that's fine. And ideally, you're keeping those ankles pointing forwards as well. So you want to make sure your ankles don't flare out to the side. You should feel most of the pressure under the foot on the inside of the feet. So under the base of the big toe as you lift up the heels. Just check you're still engaging those core muscles, we haven't lost them. Okay, and we're going to go the other way. So still core muscles working, we go down into the squat first, then we lift up the heels, then we push up, oh gosh, losing my balance, and back down again. So knees, heels, knees, and heels. Keep the core muscles working, and you could go at a different depth than me into the squat. If you want to go further, that's fine, as long as you've got it under control, or you can make it smaller if you need to. We're going to do one more. So when you come up, try not to lock the knees out if possible. It tends to happen if you lose your balance a little bit. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to pop our heels together, and we're going to do those Charlie Chaplin heel raises. So I think they really warm up the glute muscles and the calves really well. So we're going to do some heel raises without letting the heels separate. So our heels are together, we've got about a 45-degree angle going on there. You can adjust that, make it wider to make it more challenging, narrower to make it easier. Okay, engage the core, take a breath in, and then exhale to come up. Make sure you can't see an air gap between your heels. Inhale back down. Good. Keep the core muscles working. Keep your bottom cheeks slightly clenched, and that really helps keep the heels pressed together. I always seem to do this with my hands out to the side. You can put them on your hips, or you can have them wider for balance. So you want to make sure you're getting equal propulsion as you come up as well. So you should have the same amount of propulsion coming off each foot, so you're coming directly up the centre. Make sure you're not leaning to one side and relying on one leg, which can happen if you've got an injury, an old injury on one side, or knee replacement or something like that. Can make you favour your good leg. And we need to make sure we're strengthening both. Right, we're going to do one more. Good, okay, and back down. Now we're going to keep that angle on the feet, but we're going to widen the stance a little, and we're going to come down into a little partial squat. Now, while we're in that little squat, I want you to make sure the upper body is nice and upright. So we're not leaning forwards at all. We're tucking the tailbone under a little bit so that we can remain upright. And we're going to do some circles with the arms. Not got anything in the way. All right, so we're going to follow the hands, but we're going to stay in the squat with the tailbone tucked under. All right, so we're going to bring the arms up, and our eyes are going to follow as we come to the top, and then we're going to circle out, and we can go back again. So down at the hands, we're going to come up, eyes to the top, and back down. We're doing a balance exercise as well, to make sure you don't tip over. But we're making sure that the eyes go to the top so that we're getting that extension through the upper back and through the neck, because the lower back is in neutral. It's almost tucked the other way because you've got the tailbone tucked under a little bit. So you get all the movement in the upper back. We'll do one more. Okay, now we're going to stay down in that squat. Pop your hands on your hips, a little bit lower if you can, and we're going to do some heel raises. Okay, so we'll start by alternating heel raises. And we're going to make sure that we don't lean the upper body, so the upper body should be completely still if you can. We don't want to be tipping the pelvis, we're keeping it nice and level. Right, so when you're ready, you can start doing that a little quicker, or at least we're alternating simultaneously. So one goes up as the other one goes down. Makes it a bit more of a challenge to keep everything still through the upper half. When done that a few times, we can try both together. So we're going to pop both heels down and we're going to lift both. And again, as you lift the heels, make sure we're not scooching the whole body up. We're keeping everything at the same level. Okay, one more. Lovely. Okay, and then you can come back with the squat. Give your legs a shake out if you need to. Now we're going to do a little bit of balance. So we're just going to do some kind of hip flexion, but we're going to add in a bit of rotation as well. So let's pop our hands on our hips again, out to the side if you need it, and then we're going to engage those core muscles to help us stabilise. Now we're going to lift a knee to hip height, we're going to straighten that leg out. Then we're going to come back up, bending the knee to hip height, we're going to externally rotate, we're going to stretch that leg out again, we come back, and in, and down. Now we do that the other side. So we come up, and we extend that leg away, straightening the knee. We come up, we come out to the side, and we straighten the knee. We come up, we come forward, and we come back down again. So we're going to keep repeating that. Locking out the knee as we straighten. Trying to keep the pelvis pointing forwards when you rotate the hip to the side. So we're not turning the whole body. Lovely. So you will have to shift your weight a little bit with this one. You might be leaning slightly to the side, and that's fine, otherwise you're not going to keep your balance. So keeping the pelvis pointing forward, keep those core muscles engaged to help with the balance. Lovely. We'll do one more each side. Good, last one. You lost it on the last one. Good, all right then. Now we're going to do the dumb weight. I'm going to stand back a bit, otherwise I think you're not going to see my hands. So I'm going to go to hip distance apart with the knees again, feet. Knees nice and soft, pelvis in neutral again, shoulders down and back, head lifting away, engage those core muscles. Okay, so we're going to combine a few different movements, but we're going to start with the dumb waiter. So shoulders are nice and low, again thinking about the distance between ears and shoulders staying nice and wide. So we take a breath in and we exhale. Come out with the hands and inhale back in. So we're getting a little bit of a squeeze between the shoulder blades, kind of drawing them down and back as we bring the arms out to the side. Now your elbows can come away from your body very slightly, but we don't take them very far at this stage. Keep the chest nice and relaxed. Alright, on the next one, we're going to add in a bit of a heel raise. So now we have to think about ankle stability as well. So as we come out, we're also going to come up into that position and then back down again. So try and keep those ankles pointing forwards. So again with this one, most of the pressure on the base of the big toes as you come up, so that we're not flaring out like a ballet dancer, keeping them pointing forwards. Shoulders nice and low. Do one more like this, and then we're going to add in the Cleopatra on the next one. Alright, so now we come out, then up and over, in and down. So we're just adding, it takes a little bit longer to stay in that position. Your arms are a little bit heavier from the centre as you bring them out to the side, so you're more likely to shrug your shoulders, which we're going to try and avoid if you can. So you don't have to lift the hands very high, you can take them lower if you don't have that control of the shoulder blades. Okay, let's do one more. Lovely. Okay, now we're going to do a roll down. So we're going to think through our posture again. So soft knees, pelvis in neutral, relax the shoulders, head up, engage the core. We're going to take a breath in and then exhale to bring your chin to your chest and start articulating the spine down. Knees can stay soft, the weight is forward on the balls of our feet, and we're going to hang heavy in the loose and really relax through the arms, floppy through the neck, and we're going to sway like a pendulum. So the whole upper body comes from left to right. The lower half can swing the other way if it wants to. So we're not going to be too prescriptive about what happens to the pelvis, just let it relax. Arms feel heavy. And then we're going to gently settle back into the centre. And then once you're there, take a breath in And exhale to curl back up, leading with the tailbone, so you roll up, tucking the tailbone underneath, shoulders come down, and the head comes up. All right, now you can do a couple more of those if you want to, and then eventually get down onto the floor, and then you can set up the other video for the mat work class. All right, thanks very much.